Hello and welcome to Yellow Sticker Dinner, the channel where I try to make really good food for the cheapest possible price. And it doesn't get much cheaper than this, literally cheapest chips. I got these the other day, they were $1.79 full price, I got them for 45 cents. Now, if you've watched any of my previous videos, you'll know that I don't really follow recipes. But today I'm going to make an exception because I kind of have to. I heard about this recipe recently enough. It's for Nigella's Tuscan fries, Nigella Lawson's Tuscan fries. Now, I heard about this recipe about, I don't know, 3-6 months ago. It's actually been around for ages. It's been around since like 2012 or something, like 10 or 11 years. So you can tell that I really am on the forefront, the cutting edge, the razor blade edge of food trends. But I'm still gonna have to do it. I have to try this out. So basically her recipe, which without further ado, I'm gonna start right now. Let me get a little knife or a pair of scissors even to try and cut this open. I thought I'd be able to tear it. It says tear here. Oh, I did tear it. Excellent. Okay, good stuff. Her recipe, right? The reason why I want to try this is because it seems like the laziest way of cooking chips ever. Her recipe involves cooking chips from scratch in cold oil. And then you just sit there and do nothing for like 15-20 minutes or something like that. I'm going to use a mixture of previously used cooking oil, which this is old, it's been used once before. I let it cool and then put it back in the bottle. I actually used this for my buffalo cauliflower wing recipe, which I will link in the top right hand corner momentarily. And then a mixture of this kind of fresh new oil as well. And basically, like I said, you just throw this in. Don't want to splash too much. I'm still cautious. It's cold oil, but I'm still cautious. I'm just going to go for like that many because I'm worried. I don't want to overfill the pan. Yeah, that looks good to me. That's the only recipe adjustment I'm going to make. That's it. That's it. Done. Now I just sit here and watch it and make sure I don't set the house on fire. The only adjustment I'm going to make to the recipe is that I'm going to obviously shrink down the quantities. Her recipe calls for 1 kilo of potatoes. I don't have a pan that big enough. I don't have that many potatoes. This is only 500 grams and there's probably about 350 in there maybe, which is low. It's a good portion, but nice sized portion for me. Now, basically what you do is you just let this heat up. I don't want to bring it on it says a high heat, but basically I'm worried that this hob is really, really hot. If I put this on a really high heat, I have it on a high heat because I'm going to follow the recipe, but it doesn't cool down that quickly. So I'm going to let this kind of come up and then basically you let it boil for about 5 minutes. You bring it to the boil, sorry, and then let them cook for like 15 minutes and don't touch them at all. And then you give them a little stir and then you cook them for another 10 minutes or so. And in the last 5 minutes, you put in some garlic. Now this is the only adjustment I'm making to the recipe. I'm going to use this smoked garlic, which I have. Also, I had some garlic. Anyway, I'm going to use this smoked garlic. And the only adjustment I'm going to make is this smoked garlic instead of regular garlic. And her recipe involves a whole bulb. I'll probably put in about half a bulb. And you don't take them out of the skin. You throw in the whole clove, unpeeled. That one has actually naturally become peeled, so I won't use that one. So that's it. Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cloves of garlic in the skin, and you throw them in the last 5 minutes. And all I got to do now is just. And then you throw in some herbs at the end as well. Remember I got the rosemary. This is a €1 full price. I got this for 25 cents. I did go in and buy some sage today. That was full price. Feel very dirty doing it, but it cost me €1 and for the interest of science, I think it's worth it. So all I'm going to do now is literally just bring this stuff in here and just keep an eye on it. And basically I'll talk for a bit. You know, there's going to be like 20 minutes of just nothing happening. So I haven't really decided if I'm going to talk the whole way, if I cut ahead. I'm not quite sure. But in the meantime, before I do cut, I may as well waffle on for a little bit about my excitement for this recipe because I genuinely want this to work and there's no reason why it won't. you know. It should work. I'm a little bit skeptical. I'm a little bit intrigued. I'm a little bit interested. You know, right now my predominant emotion is hangry because I'm starving and I really want to eat. But I'm intrigued. I'm in, you know, and like I said, I really think this will work and it should work. I want this to work, and there's no reason why it won't, because, you know, Nigella Lawson, she's like, I actually went onto her Wikipedia, and she doesn't like being called a celebrity chef, but she is. You know what I mean? She's not some schmuck sitting she's not some schmuck like me whose kitchen basically is just a piece of wood sitting on top of an old washing machine. You know what I mean? Like this recipe was published in a book. She made it on TV. You'd assume it's been tested a bunch of times. There's pictures taken of it. I haven't actually seen or read the book. I haven't seen the show either. You'd imagine that there's, like, you know, loads of people would have made this when it came out back in 2012, and there doesn't appear to be any crazy outrage of this not working. This will work. I'm 100% confident of it is working. If I did this myself without, if I did this myself without seeing this recipe, there is no way I would make my chips like that or my fries. But anyway, like you just bring this to the boil, and then let it do nothing for 15 minutes. You're not allowed to stir them for 15 minutes. I don't know why, but I'm going to follow it. And then in the last 5 minutes, you throw in the garlic, and the last minute or two, you throw in a bunch of herbs. And then you just pour it onto the plate and serve. There's a bit on her website, which I'll get a screenshot of. It says, pour onto the plate clatteringly. I have no idea what that word means, clatteringly. I suspect that Nigella got herself a little thesaurus out, or maybe she just made up the word. I'm going to Google it after this. But apart from that, basically, I think I will just skip ahead very soon, because there's not much value to either of us watching a pan heat up for the next 15 minutes. So I'm just going to skip ahead, and when it gets a bit more interesting, when it gets a bit more exciting, I'll cut ahead. Sorry, very, 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 very important update. It's been about 2 minutes, but time for my dog's food. She only gets about 40 grams per portion. Now, normally I actually cook her a mixture of homemade wet food. Whoa. Good girl. Sorry, she sits in Chinese. Don't ask me why. I do know why, I just don't want to tell you. Oh, nice. I'll tell you. The reason why she sits in Chinese, because when I first rescued her, a Chinese co-worker of mine looked after her for the weekend, about a week. About 2 weeks after I first got her. And I was like, do you know, it'd be really cool if you could teach her how to sit in Chinese. And that was nearly 6 years ago. And she did it. And we've kept it up ever since. Anyway, better keep an eye on these chips. Okay, so it's about 5 minutes later. These guys are still going, and what's more exciting is that my dog is trying to play. Oh, she's gone. Lolly, this way. Hello. Good girl. Well done. Good girl. Look at me. Look, say hi. Say hi to the camera. Don't sniff it. Don't eat the camera. Just say hi. Good girl. You're very cute. A little update. This has been boiling for about 11 minutes at this point. There's still another 4 minutes to go apparently, but I'm going to be a bit flexible with that. And we got a little floater. One of them is floating. I haven't touched them yet, but we got a floater. Riveting stuff. Really, really exciting stuff here. So in about 3 or 4 minutes, I'll come back and we'll add the garlic. Woo! Yeah! Okay, it's time to go. We got a few more floaters. Ooh, my tummy just made a big rumble. I'm very hungry. And step 4 of this recipe, now you can very carefully give the chips a gentle stir with a pair of tongs held in an oven glove. Now, I don't have an oven glove. I do have a pair of tongs, but I don't have an oven glove, which is how I got this scar. So guys, get yourself an oven glove. Anyway, I just need to kind of give these a very careful stir. It said moving any that may have got stuck to the side of the bottom of the pan. I feel like I've got nothing that's stuck to the bottom of the pan. The stirring has gone well. The stirring has been completed. I also organized a little baking tray here with some kitchen roll in it. And do you know what? I'm going to get my little slotted spoon for this section to put in the unpeeled cloves of garlic. I'm putting in 5 of them. Now they'll sit here for the next 5 minutes. And while they're doing that, I'll put my phone back in my pocket. I imagine it's going to flavour the oil. I'm intrigued about this step actually, because I'm not sure how well this is going to work. Again, like I said, it should work. And then for the last minute, you add in a mixture of herbs. Now she says a mixture of rosemary, thyme and sage. There was no thyme in my local supermarket and I didn't have the time to get anywhere else. And also I didn't want to spend any money on them. But she says you can use a mixture or a combination of any of them. So she also doesn't say to do this, but I am going to do it. And basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to smack these in my hand. Because if you've ever seen cocktail makers making a mojito, they'll do it with the mint and it kind of releases the juices and the oils and kind of gives you a more intense flavour. So I'm going to do that now. Like I said, this is not part of the recipe. We're going off script here. We're going off book. But give them a little muddle. Release some of those oils. And that'll do. And then these go in for the last minute or so. And I'm just watching these to make sure they get... I love the smell of rosemary. I'm just watching these now to make sure they get... She says basically be careful because they can go from nice and golden and cooked to ruined in an instant. And I think we're in that stage here now. So I'm going to throw in these herbs. Give that a little stir again. Let those all get to know each other. Lolly is making sure that nobody is walking past the front of the house. Smells good. I am really excited about this because I am hungry. Hangry, I said. It smells great. The chips are looking really good. The garlic is probably doing its job. And then at some point, let me read the recipe again. At the point when the chips are pale gold but crisp, toss in the herbs, and after a minute or so, scoop everything out using a couple of perforated scoops for ease. Onto a tray or platter lined with a double thickness of kitchen roll. Once any excess oil has been absorbed, tip the chips off the kitchen paper clatteringly onto the plate and sprinkle with sea salt flakes to taste, serving immediately. That's it, we're done. Pan is off. I've got my little double strength kitchen roll. Couple of scoops of this. I may have put in too many herbs. She says 8 sprigs though. So if I were going to do like a third of that, that's probably close to 8 sprigs in terms of, you know, like 3 sprigs really. And then I assume you don't eat the garlic, but I might do anyway. I mean, it looks fantastic. I mean, it's like, look at that, like, that looks great. Let's give this a little, let's bring it in here. It's okay, Lolly. So I was undecided about whether or not to use. I'm gonna give these a little pat. So what I'm really looking for here is texture and flavour. Like with most recipes, to be fair. Okay. Here comes the moment of the truth, the point where I put these clatteringly onto the plate. Is that clatteringly enough? Is that the correct amount of clattering? Wowee, I am impressed with this already. I can tell these are good. You can hear, they sound tasty. Let's get some Maldon sea salt flakes, which she actually specifies that you have to use Maldon sea salt. Now luckily I do have Maldon, and this is my salt of choice. Possibly a a sponsored part. I'm not getting paid anything, but she might have been. Okay, let's do a taste test. Dig in. Okay, so it is gently crispy on the outside, and it is fluffy on the inside. But it's actually very fluffy on the inside. And there's just a very gentle crisp on the outside. It doesn't have a monster amount of flavor. It doesn't have, I was expecting like this big waft of garlic, a big load of rosemary and stuff. Visually it looks great. Maybe there's a bit too much in there, but you know. They sound crispy. They sound crispier than they are. They look crispy than they are. They are crispy, but they're not outrageously crispy. Maybe I've undercooked them. Maybe the chips themselves were, I mean, they're reduced, so maybe they're not the best quality. But, you know, for something that requires no work, I give it a big thumbs up. And I will cook chips like this again. So, congratulations, Nigella. You made a successful recipe. And thanks to everyone else for watching Yellow Sticker Dinner. Sorry, I'm back here. I just took my camera off to take some videos or take some photos and stuff for the thumbnail, and after I finished, I had a piece of this sage, this kind of deep fried sage. It's absolutely delicious. It's really, really good. Deep fried sage is a new experience, something I didn't expect. I'm gonna try some deep fried rosemary now. My God, deep fried herbs are insane. Truly amazing. The chips are great, but deep fried herbs, wowie. Okay, thanks for watching Yellow Sticker Dinner.